You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. I am Matt Burns, and with me is none other than John Below, and you're listening to The Burning Truth, as we already stated at the start.
We did, and you certainly are. Hey, Mr. Burns, it's a new year. It's a new decade.
It's a new decade. Yes, it is. It is. It feels weird. It feels weird the fact that we've had a bit. Well, yes, we have done messages out and everything. It just feels weird that we haven't been doing an actual full episode.
I know, it feels like a long time. So much so that I'd almost got out of the habit and I nearly forgot that we were doing it today.
Yeah.
I say that, nearly. I'm here, aren't I? What more do you want?
Exactly. It could have been worse. I could have been all by myself.
As far as the singing goes, don't give up the day job.
Of course.
Right.
Anyway, as always, on The Burning Truth, we do have to put out a bit of a warning disclaimer that some of the language that we may have on the air may be unsuitable for younger listeners, and some listeners may find offensive. If you do, we do apologise for that, and just to make you happy, it's more of a precaution just in case, because certain topics can get heated. However, I doubt that'll be this week, but you never know.
We don't aim to turn the air blue, but sometimes we get a bit carried away, you know? It's just in case warning, really.
We do.
And also, one other thing, I've got to mourn.
Why?
Well, before we get started properly, it's 2020.
Yeah?
And that means I have to mourn the death of a long-running gag since I first came back to this particular broadcast.
Go on.
I can't do the following programme may also contain strobe lighting effects gag anymore. Because
Go on.
WWE is no longer broadcast on Sky Sports, and so I'm fairly sure BT Sport will have their own warning ahead of the programme, which will not be that one, and will probably be worded differently, and therefore
sorry, no,
by the wayside.
No.
Like the old "Don't try this at home" ad, which I still know word for word, even though they probably haven't shown it on.
We all do.
For getting on for 10 years.
We all do. As much as yes, I know a few people say, but Matt Burns is probably happy. In actual fact, wait till you hear this little bit of news. Keep it in.
Fair enough. Don't have to tell me twice. But anyway, the following programme may contain strobe lighting effects and the occasional outburst of language which the easily offended may be offended by. So, consider yourself warned. However, as Matt Burns was alluding to before, I decided it was never too early to go off on a tangent. We're celebrating the positives this episode, so there's likely to be less chance of said language. It's not impossible, it may happen, but it's less likely.
It's possibly going to happen, maybe, because I've got to bring something up I'm going to get it out the way. But
right, okay.
As we know, this episode is TBT Awards episode, where we will be covering some awards for 2019.
As tempting as it was to be all like balanced and put the bad in along with the good, there's enough negative coverage about wrestling. We're just focusing on the best.
Correct. However, the only thing I want to cover for this week, in regards to the mainstream,
things that have happened that we can't ignore. There is one
massive thing that we need to address. What's your thoughts on who's number one in the Royal Rumble?
scratches his beard and makes out like he's thinking while frantically Googling it.
What hurts my head, and I'll save you the time of doing that,
Yeah.
is who it is, and why the hell is he in the match?
Hold on, that's making me start to think.
Is this his way of getting out of another pay-per-view defense?
Hang on. It's not, is it?
Oh, it is.
It's not boring incarnate.
It's Brock
The
Lesnar.
beast of boredom.
It's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
However,
But to be honest,
it could be for the belt.
it could end up being, and let's be fair, the chance that he could be in there fighting against more than one guy and WWE actually have to pay him for more than 5 minutes of throwing someone on their head.
Yep.
You know, he's actually going to be earning his paycheck for this. So I'm not 100% against it.
Wait for it. Pause for a second. Think about it. There's a possibility that people are thinking he may win it.
What, win the Rumble?
Yeah.
Well, he can't, because then he'd be his own opponent, and that, even by WWE standards,
No, it doesn't.
that'd be a bit silly.
Are you ready for this?
What?
And this is going to hurt your brain.
Yeah, okay, so he wins, therefore he gets to choose who he wants to fight, e.g. himself, at WrestleMania. How are they backing themselves out of this booking corner?
No, you ready?
Oh, hang on, wait, no, he's not the champ. I see what you go.
Yes.
No, sorry. I was operating under the pretense that he was still getting paid to turn up 4 times a year and be the paper champion. He's not. That's better, but I still don't want him to win. Go on.
No.
Make
He
my
is
head
still
hurt.
he is still the WWE champion. Still.
Oh, crap.
But then-
he lost one and won the other one, didn't he?
Yeah. You ready?
Go on.
What's stopping him from winning the match and then going, I fancy claiming the WWE Universe again?
The fact that he walked out of SmackDown threatening to sue WWE.
Yeah, possibly. But then he gains the title, both titles, and becomes top dog. Well, becomes the top beast. Or even worse.
Yeah, that doesn't bear thinking
He
about. Don't
takes-
think about it.
The NXT Championship.
1, don't think like that. It'll lead to an aneurysm. 2, don't put ideas in their head. And 3, shut up.
I know. But it's got to be addressed, because if we don't, we're not preparing everybody for that big, luminous, foreshadowing future.
Seriously? What? No. There's a very simple reason why that won't happen.
Why?
Because there is a little simple thing which many people who watch main roster WWE seem to forget about NXT. Who runs NXT?
Yeah.
Who, over and above Vince McMahon, has final say on everything ever in NXT and can veto Vince if he so wishes.
To a degree.
And who wouldn't in a million years put the NXT title on a boring, past it, failed footballer? And
Trust me
yes,
when
if
I
I
say
had
this.
a death wish, I would say that to his face.
Right. Anyway.
But no,
Anyway.
stop it with thinking like that. We're
I
trying
know.
to enjoy wrestling here, not...
I know, it's just a scary thought.
Yeah.
And you know what makes it worse is, it sounded like I thought you were going to say, but he can't make it all the way to the end. Remember that Roman Reigns almost did it.
Yes. Rey Mysterio almost did it. Ric Flair did it.
Ric Flair's done it. Rey Mysterio's done it.
I
Shawn
just said
Michaels
that. Yeah,
has
Shawn
done
Michaels
it.
did it like
And
twice.
the man who shall not be named.
Oh, yeah. Really annoying that, because that's one of the best Royal Rumble matches that they
I
ever
know.
did. So annoying.
I know. But anyway. Breathe.
Um,
Keep calm. And digress. Right. That out the way, let's get on to TBT Awards.
oh, hold on. No. We have to actually mention this because it's wrestling and it's happening, and we have to just briefly mention it. I assume we'll talk about it next week alongside NXT UK TakeOver. Is it Cardiff or is it Blackpool? 2. Blackpool 2. I assume we'll talk about it alongside that next week. But
Yes.
In the hint of starting as they mean to go on, it's quite an appropriate name for the pay-per-view, really.
Yeah.
Also happening tonight is the first show of Impact Wrestling's new decade, entitled Hard to Kill, which, as I said, is quite appropriate for the company as a whole, really.
Especially with the main event.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are capable of watching that, unlike NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2, which has probably wrapped up by now,
It has.
but you'll be able to watch it on the network anytime. That'll be probably Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill will probably be on at standard US pay-per-view time of 1 a.m. here in the UK. So if you want to watch that after we've finished, you can, if you know where to find it.
Yep. And
So we'll probably be talking about that next week as well. But we just wanted to be inclusive and say, yes, we mainly talk about British wrestling because we're in Britain, and WWE because it's the number one company in the world.
Of course.
But other companies do exist, and we acknowledge that. So
yes, that we do.
And as you said, the main event is groundbreaking and potentially immense.
Correct. It's none other than the current champion, Sami Callihan, facing off Tessa Blanchard.
Yes, you heard that right. In the ground that, even to this day, in its groundbreaking women's evolution type situation, WWE refuses to tread for reasons I'm not quite sure about, but I think that it can be pinned down to 2 simple words.
And what makes it even
Vince McMahon.
What makes it even more epic is that these pair have already fought each other before at Slammiversary last year, or during 2019, and they were breaking down barriers in that match.
Absolutely. And do you know what the best part is?
They're doing it again.
I've got a feeling history will be made. But we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, next week. But anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah,
and
the main thrust of today's show is TBT Awards, as you mentioned.
One more piece.
One
more piece. Which is for UK wrestling. If anybody has been checking out on UKWA's social media, you might have noticed something.
Yeah. It's up. It's there. Pay attention.
Posters are out.
UKWA is coming.
UKWA Finest Hour, February 7th, 2020.
Where?
It's at All Sages Civic.
All Sages Civic Hall. And
Correct.
You don't want to miss it.
Definitely not. Especially seeing as first match announcement is being revealed tomorrow, 12 p.m.
Ooh.
GMT.
Yes. Reason
UK
for
time.
you to wake up that ridiculously early.
Not in the morning.
Yeah, I know. The crack of midday is early to me, okay? I work evenings. I don't get up
Looking
much.
for some.
Yeah, I don't really get up in what you would call that annoying thing. The AM. I don't really do that.
So are you telling me I'm up over 6 hours before you?
Yeah, but I work until midnight, so I'm routinely awake until 4 a.m. So it makes sense if you think about it like that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, posters, pretty cool, all over the social media. So check it out and check back tomorrow, midday. Oh, crack a sparrows that for the unforgettable first match announcement.
Correct. But anyway, we'll now get to TBT Awards, shall we? And where shall
the filling of this week's sandwich, the main part of the show,
the main event?
Yes.
Anyway, where shall we hit first?
Oh, dear me. Sorry. Slight distraction there, folks. I was just looking at Instagram because I was admiring the UKWA poster.
As you do.
But I also happened to see a post by a certain Brit Wrestle fan. That would be UKWA's commentator Tom Baker, where he's doing one of those stupid things where you look at the screen and it, like puts a word on your forehead or something. And it said dumb rating. And his came out apparently at 93%.
Ouch.
Just leaving that there. Not judging, just leaving it there.
The savagery.
The savagery.
Why are you picking on Tom?
I'm not picking on him. The random Instagram app is picking on him. I'm just making a point of letting everyone know that Instagram apparently hates Tom Baker for, I would say, fairly unfair reasons, but it seems to.
Understandable. But anyway, we digress. We've been beating around the bush. Let's get back to where we were originally.
With the Burning Truth Awards for pro wrestling in 2019. I still can't get used to the fact that was last year, but I've got to because it is. Shall we get started?
Correct. Anyway, where shall we pretty much head out? I'm going to go with...
Should we go with the big one first? Match of the year.
Match of the year.
Yeah, match of the year.
Definitely. And I can honestly say plenty to choose from. And let me just state, ladies and gentlemen, that all these awards are actually opinions.
Yeah, they are the opinions of myself, the voice of reason, John Bloor, and him over there, Matt Burns.
What do you mean, him over there?
My esteemed colleague and co-host, Matthew Charles Edward Burns, the third.
No. Second, actually. Joke. But anyway, we digress. We're beating around the bush again. But anyway, I've gone for Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls.
That is one hell of a match. There's no arguing with that. A match that had everything you could ask for in a wrestling match.
And a lot of people saying, why didn't you go for the other one? Why didn't you go one where Adam Cole won the title? Going, Adam Cole, baby. Because we know you're a top guy. You love Adam. You're a fan of Adam Cole. Yes, I am. But
if anything, this was the better match.
This was the better match. And you know why? How much notice did we have for this match?
I think about a week.
Yeah, this was due to the original intended match.
Namely, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
For the championship.
Yep.
This was due to this match being royally dropped on its head at the last minute because of Ciampa's injury.
Yeah. And a lot of people saying, but it's not going to be just as good as, Ciampa. It's one of them. It's hard to say because Gargano and Ciampa will always have their epic feud.
Yes.
But then you got Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole on such short notice, and on such short notice, they knocked it out the damn park.
Absolutely. Those are two guys who, with this match, just proved... So what's that? You've got a week, get out there and have match of the year. And they did.
Yeah, pretty much.
They could probably do it, to be honest, if those two guys are so talented, you could probably say to them, right, we're 40 minutes into the hour and a half, if you account for adverts, of NXT. Main event's dead, someone's injured, all of a sudden we're screwed. Get out there and just fight each other. And they could still have match of the year on 3 seconds notice.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. But that's my pick.
Yeah. And my pick happens to involve one of those people.
Ooh.
But due to injury, not the other. Yeah, tell me about it. And, my match of the year is absolutely War.
Oh, no, he wasn't in that match. At all. Was he? I believe he was originally meant to be fighting Finn Balor.
Adam Cole was.
Was he?
Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, well, anyway.
No, I meant
wasn't in
Gargano.
the event because he was injured. Yeah, but I said one half of it. Anyway, The point being, War is an appropriate title. I'm not sure where nearly killing 8 of the best guys in NXT can be considered a game, but 7. War Games is the match I'm talking about for match of the year.
7 NXT guys and 1 WWE.
I didn't actually specify. I think I just said best guys on the roster.
No, you said 7 NXT guys.
Oh, well.
I had to correct you. Sorry.
7 current and 1 former NXT guy.
I'll take that.
I am, of course, going for War Games 3, I believe, technically.
The referendum.
Yeah. War Games 3. This time it's personal.
The referendum. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an epic match. That was just, everything you would expect from a War Games match. Basically, violence cranked up to 11. And it was epic. All right, we should just point out at this point, by the way, that we have 3 categories. 3 subcategories within each of these categories, which
is mainstream, indie, and UK. And that's not across all of them. We will state it when it's not.
Yes. But that is for this one. So that is the mainstream match of the year.
Correct.
My pick, War Games 3. Matt Burns' pick, Gargano versus Cole, 2 out of 3 falls. Yep. As far as indie goes...
Well, I've got to go with an AEW match.
Yes.
Which was none other than Cody, don't call him Rhodes at this event, versus Dustin Rhodes.
Yes.
And a lot of people
intricacies of why Cody can't be called Rhodes, but Dustin can. Let's not go there. But anyway.
Yep. A lot of people will say, well, why didn't you go for one of the other matches of Cody's? One that happened more recently. Simply because it was just knocked out the park. It was between 2 brothers, absolutely, and the promo that occurred straight after showed that Cody, he is a Rhodes. He is.
Yes, absolutely, he is. He can try and deny it all he wants, but you can't.
Oh no, he wasn't denying it. He wasn't denying it.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he can't. You can't deny your own heritage, and he absolutely is.
Correct.
Epic.
Honestly, it was just... You got that speech straight after where he's saying, we're going to fight. You know, I want my brother to stand with me now.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost reminiscent of when you got Dusty Rhodes asking Dustin for help.
Yes.
And it was like almost history repeating itself.
But regardless of that, even so, it was, a brutal match in its own right. And I think, stop me if I'm wrong, but I think Dustin is being released from hospital tomorrow because he's finally had all his blood replaced from the amount he lost in that match nearly a year ago.
Oh, good lord, he lost a lot of blood.
Yes.
He did.
It was quite a scary thing.
It was.
Anyway, based on something we mentioned earlier, I have come up with an indie match of the year. I didn't have one until a few seconds ago, but our discussion of Impact Wrestling reminded me.
Go on.
And the Impact Wrestling World Championship match for tonight is not the first time these two competitors have met.
Correct.
And their previous encounter...
It's Slammiversary.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's it for me. Groundbreaking,
the fact
brutal.
that they had... It wasn't just brutal. The fact that they had no rules.
Yes.
Baseball bats and everything.
It was absolutely, as I said, off the scale, genre defining, all the things that a match of the year should be.
Correct. It really should be. Massively. 100%.
Yeah.
And great call. Absolute great call. And if anybody does want to check out some of these matches, go check up, for WWE, check up on the WWE Network. For Impact Wrestling, check up on, I believe, it's Impact Plus.
I believe so, yeah.
Impact
Is it
Wrestling
also
Plus.
the Fight Network?
Or on the Fight Network, if necessary.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also good.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's that. What about...
And of course, for British Wrestling, either on the company's, I believe, their on demand or on Turnbuckle TV if it's on there.
Yeah, and more companies are finding their way onto Turnbuckle TV, which is great.
Yep.
So yeah, so that is my choice. What about yours for UK Match of the Year?
Right.
Or do you want me to go first?
If you've got a choice, go first.
Yeah, I was going to say, because yours is quite a... mine was the undeniable... Well, I didn't see that coming, and that's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
Match from not too long ago, pitting Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews against the Grizzled Young Veterans for the NXT UK Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
Which came out of nowhere, was an epic match, and the result made everyone smile. Well, apart from a couple of Scouse misers, but, no, please everyone.
True.
Yeah, so that was mine. Great match. Available on the WWE Network if you would like to watch it.
And
yours...
Yes, and well, let me just point this out. A lot of people are going to say, but that's the mainstream. That's part of WWE. Remember the category it said? UK?
UK. It might be NXT UK, but those last two letters are the crucial ones.
Correct. UK.
So it counts.
Does count. Anyway,
Absolutely
for me,
counts.
This was the first encounter between these two.
Your choice, yes, was the first encounter between two wrestlers who, frankly, I get the feeling everyone in the wrestling world is going to be hailing both as absolute legends in 20 years' time when their careers wind down, because they're both still frighteningly near the start of their careers, despite what they've already achieved.
I think they'll be even longer than 20 years, personally.
Well, I'm just going on averages. If they stay injury free, it could well be. If you bear in mind how young they still both are, it could be. Yeah,
100%. And for me, it has to be from Shropshire Wrestling Alliance,
who were the first people to book the match that, trust me, any wrestling promoter in this country worth his salt was like, well, that's a match we should book. Why haven't we booked that match? Damn it, why didn't I do that first after they announced it? Mr. Matt Burns included, I might add.
Bear in mind, I actually considered this match and I just couldn't get it done. I was trying to find a way.
Couldn't find the time in which both of them were free. Yeah.
and navigated it, and then when soon as the match, I was like,
I believe you're correct. The correct response from Mr. Matt Burns when he saw that another company had managed to do it was unrepeatable.
Unrepeatable. Oh no, unrepeated.
Yeah.
No, as in repeatedly said at the time.
Yeah, said repeatedly.
But
I won't give it away, but let's just give you a clue. It rhymes with trucking bastards.
It wasn't actually that. It sounds more like an uck.
Yeah, just the single syllable repeated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was, of course, because he is from Staffordshire, saying duck over and over again.
Yeah. Keeping it clean. But anyway.
Anyway, yes. We need to tell the people who it is, because we've been prevaricating long enough.
It is Millie McKenzie versus Chantal Jordan.
Yes. Both of whom will have long-ranging feuds with each other over probably NXT UK, NXT and WWE Women's Championships over the next 20, 25, 30 years. And anyone that doesn't know what the fuss is about yet, well, watch this match, look at it and go, Christ, they're that young and they're that good already?
Yeah, and it was savagery. They were pretty much going all out on each other. It was like, good Lord.
Yeah, I don't want to scare you, but I think if you add the ages of Millie McKenzie and Chantal Jordan together, I'm still older. That's how frighteningly good they are.
Close. I think it's close. Close.
Yeah, they're both still teenagers, so
They're still young.
the sky is literally the limit.
It's just unbelievable. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, that's an epic match and deserving of the award.
Correct. Because I believe yours is it also as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. But
Right.
anyway, I've got to add one more, I believe, topic.
Yeah, go on.
Promo of the year.
Well, way to throw this on me completely out of the blue.
It's something I only popped into my head straight off the bat.
All right, okay. Do you want to do it now, or do you want to give me a bit of time to think about it and we'll do it at the end?
I'm going to say do it now because I need to get this off my chest. And it's something I'm going to give you. It's something you might even agree with me on this one.
Is this just a straight up one-off, the whole world of wrestling one award promo of the year?
This was a
rather
promo,
than splitting it up into
pretty
categories.
Much.
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
much. This promo it literally looked at it made me look up and just go, that'll put butts in seats on that promo alone.
I think I know where you might be going with this, but I have my own ideas. So,
and
go on.
This person's already been mentioned already, and even had a promo, but it wasn't that promo that we are referring to.
Ah, you're going in a totally different direction to me then, but I know where you're going. So, just in case those listening haven't, would you like to put them out of their misery?
For me, Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
AEW. And this promo was aimed at Chris Jericho for Full Gear. The lead up to it. Oh my God. The fact that you had Chris Jericho pointing out, trying to make accusations of that Cody Rhodes has got a silver spoon fairly lodged in. And then Cody Rhodes quickly announcing his promo, yeah, I have got a silver spoon in my mouth and everything, and that I was born into luxury. But then again, have you read Chris Jericho's book that you can possibly buy on eBay or Amazon on the in the bargain bucket?
Yeah. Start as you need to go on.
And the fact that he actually points out that Chris Jericho was raised with a silver spoon, also, especially seeing as he's got, a famous hockey legend.
Hall of Fame
part
ice
of his...
hockey playing dad.
Yeah. you know, if I'm not mistaken, check your watch, Chris Jericho, because I believe we have the same Rolex. It was just
nice.
It was the modern era of the infamous Dusty Rhodes promo.
Yes.
You know, the hard times. It was like a modern version, and that promo, as soon as I looked at it, I was going to be watching it anyway. Now, if I hadn't even seen the build-up, that promo would have just done it there and then.
Yes. Which, ironically enough, is kind of how I feel about what I'm going to nominate for this. And the thing is, with mine, it's not even one specific promo. It's basically any time this person got on the microphone during this entire run.
Yep.
Because somebody somewhere in the bean counting room at Titan Towers has decided that sometimes just telling the truth is money.
And good promo.
If you go up to someone like the recipient of the award for me and say to them, lay it all out there, don't sugarcoat it, you are pretty much guaranteeing yourself promo of the damn decade every single time.
Yeah.
And
I'll
to the
agree
surprise
with this.
of nobody, Kevin Owens delivered, knocked it out the park every time.
No kidding. No
the guy
kidding.
Does not know how to add promo.
Oh, he knows how to ad lib. And what makes it even worse
Absolutely.
is somebody just goes, yeah, but what if they told him to just say that? What if they just told him, check Kevin Owens' damn well history?
Yes.
He has a notorious history of going against the authority. And enough every company he's wrestled for.
Yes. Here, it's just a shame, really, that a certain former wrestler isn't still active.
And could be. Soon.
Still could be again, but isn't currently. Because, can you imagine, main event of Monday Night Raw,
Lord.
on one side of the ring, Kevin Owens. On the other side of the ring,
Pipe bombing machine.
Charles Montgomery Punk.
But then again,
Just going at it. They don't even need to lay a hand on each other. They can do it all verbally, and it would just be box office gold.
It would be. But the thing is, we digress.
But anyway, my thing for promo of the year isn't just one promo. It's the entire feud between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Every time Kevin Owens picked up a microphone, pretty much.
To be honest with you, I think what's shocking for me is I'm surprised I didn't go for this one myself. But a part of me is surprised, but I'm happy I went with Cody Rhodes because that promo does deserve every credit. I will say the Kevin Owens one for me is a second. You know, it's literally, if it isn't the Cody one, it's Kevin Owens. If it isn't Kevin Owens, it's the Cody one. Now, the reason why I love Kevin Owens' promo against Shane McMahon, it wasn't just aimed at Shane McMahon. It was fully at the authority. And we are talking Triple H, Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon. And you literally see him turn around saying, you said it wasn't going to be all about the McMahons. And look where we are.
Yeah. And you know that he was basically saying what every single fan watching was thinking.
It was like they got their finger on the pulse.
Happens sometimes, and it's a beautiful thing when it does.
Correct. Right.
Lovely. Right. Since we have got 2 choices in each of one of the categories, so that's 6 in total. Shall we move on to Feud of the Year next?
Feud of the Year,
that's just
pretty much.
One choice each for each of the 3 subcategories.
No. One choice for... okay.
Yeah.
What have you got for mainstream for Feud of the Year?
That's the thing. We need to troubleshoot this, because I could put 6 or 7 out there and I couldn't pick between them.
I've got mine.
We talked about this before we came on air.
I've got mine.
Okay, I have got mine, and I think
it's something that we discussed before we actually came on the air. Mine is.
Yeah, we did. We discussed several, and there were several honourable mentions.
Yeah. Shall we mention the honourable mentions first?
I think we should. Yes.
Would you like to go first?
No, I insist. After you.
For me, I'm gonna mention Seth Rollins versus the WWE Universe.
Yes, the unfortunate, unintentional Seth Rollins. I'm a babyface on Monday Night Raw and a massive heel on social media.
On Twitter.
Oops. Yes.
And it's bad when you got CM Punk just saying, for God's sake, delete your social media.
Yes. Because if anyone would know, yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Honourable mention as well for the same similar sort of head in the hands reason, because of the negative publicity it generated. But guys, this is wrestling. We have known since 1985 that Vince McMahon's mantra is pretty much any publicity is good publicity. And for that reason, Rusev against Lashley could potentially have been feud of the year. It isn't, don't panic, but it could have been.
It's got Rusev over.
Absolutely. It's re-established Rusev as a massive face.
Yep.
And there might still be life in his character in the company yet, which fills me with joy because they need to put a rocket under the guy.
Correct. 100% to agree with you on that one. And it is absolutely insane the fact that we've got this down, and it's just
yeah. I'm just trying to think some of the other honourable mentions. I'm
going to say leave it there for the honourable mentions and say let's just get down to business. I say.
Okay. In which case, after you,
I am going to go for the mainstream. Diving into NXT.
Of the year. Yes.
A lot of people are going to say, he's going to go for Gargano versus Adam Cole. NXT did that. Yeah, it's good, but there's one feud that was even better.
I've got a feeling the words Velveteen Dream might be coming towards the horizon at great speed here.
And it's actually not.
Ooh, spoiler. Almost, but it turns out not. Okay. Because he could have had any number, but...
He could have, but for me...
Put me out of my misery.
Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Well, it had to be done.
I had to go
the
for
whole...
it.
Yeah,
it
the whole...
was...
Are they mortal enemies? Are they on the same page? Don't know. What day is it? Kind of angle.
It was the fact, okay, WWE messed them around, did this, did that, but at the same time, good lord,
two
the
performers
psychological
at the top of their
games that they played.
Absolutely.
And it was such a shame we didn't actually get an official end. We didn't get an official end, technically. But my God, what a way to basically put a feud. You know it's bad when you've got Johnny Gargano ready to pull the trigger and he's hesitating to do it.
Yes.
He hasn't got it in him. And then Ciampa just pulls the trigger like nobody's business, and he breaks Gargano to the point where he knows it's not all light. There is some grey. there is
Yeah.
some grey.
There is absolutely shades of grey.
And that is my pick. Feud of the Year for the mainstream.
Yes.
How about yourself?
I can't remember her exact words, but my feud of the year isn't even between two wrestlers. That's how great it was. And I may be paraphrasing ever so slightly, but it can be summed up by the simple phrase, "Suck it up, bitches." My feud of the year, quite simply, is Bayley versus her fans.
And a lot of people are going,
The spectacularly epic heel turn that Bayley did, that I personally have been crying out for since about 2016. They pulled the trigger. It was everything it needed to be and more. It was epic. And
there is a downside to her turning, especially with the new outfit.
Yes.
She can never
Yeah,
wear
there
a belt.
is, but
She can never wear a belt.
No.
But to be honest with you,
You can never
she
wear a
doesn't-
title round her waist ever again for
WWE.
reasons that you if there's ever a photograph of her, trust me, there'll be one on the dark corners of the internet somewhere when she was wearing it around her waist with her new look gear. You understand why?
Nope, she didn't.
We're not going to spell it out for you, but yeah.
Oh dear.
But the point being,
Yep.
it was obvious that she was starting to get demotivated, starting to phone it in because, yay, I love everybody, let's have hugs, was starting to get, well, frankly, it was staler than month-old bread. And she was running out of enthusiasm to keep trying to push it along.
And you can see the fact that the hate.
You can absolutely tell that she is absolutely loving the fact that she is finally able to cut free and just say what I very much doubt she actually thinks, but who knows, she might.
Who knows?
Just literally let rip on the crowd for being sheep and embrace a bit of a dark side that we all knew she had. Oh, that, and seriously, we haven't got a thing for moment of the year, but if we did, mine would undeniably be the moment she came out to her old entrance music.
I believe we do actually have moment of the year.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, which is potentially the what the hell.
Well, I was okay.
What did you forget?
Mine wasn't that, but
anyway,
the point is,
we'll get to that later.
Just a standalone moment of the year, just outside of anything else, was the moment she literally stopped on the ramp whilst her old entrance music was still playing and destroyed the wacky waving inflatable arm men with a knife.
Was it a knife or some sort of like?
It was like a sort of blade
sharp
on a
object.
stick. Yeah, essentially cutting her old self dead on the middle of the ramp in the middle of SmackDown, just like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
This just isn't who I am anymore.
And the scary thing about it is what caused it. Losing the championship.
Yes.
And which she quickly won back.
Yes.
But anyway, great feud. And I'm going to have to say we're going to have to push it on now. Shall we get to the what the hell moments of the year since I've already mentioned it?
Since it was noted, yeah, we might as well. The oh my god moment of the year, the what the hell moment, the Mamma Mia moment, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The oh my god moments of the year.
If you're Vic Joseph, the oh moment of the year.
Yeah.
Because how one man made one letter a catchphrase. Never before has a simpler catchphrase been made popular-ish since, well, if I'm honest, since Akira Tozawa made an incoherent noise into a catchphrase. But anyway...
I'm surprised you didn't go Jerry the King Lawler, but I like how you kept it clean. But anyway,
yes.
Let's continue.
Yes.
Shall we?
The OMG moment of the year divided into three categories, as before: main, indie, and UK.
Hang on. We did feud? We haven't finished feud of the year yet.
Oh, have we not? Oh,
no.
Crikey.
We only just mentioned the mainstream. Actually, my mistake. It's my fault. That
right,
is.
Okay.
We'll do that after.
Right. Okay then.
Indie.
We can. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to carry on feud of the year?
I say feud of the year. Carry it on.
Yeah, okay.
Finish it up, and then move into what the hell moment.
Put a bookmark in what the hell moment. We'll come back to that. But feud of the year, we've only got as far as my choice was Bailey, and yours was Gargano versus Ciampa. Right, the indie moment of the year.
Yep. No, feud.
Indie feud of the year. We'll get this. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's a new year. We're out of practice. Give us a break.
Come on. It's almost like we're on Botchamania.
The day we're important enough to be included on Botchamania is the day we have officially made it.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Anyway,
indie feud of the year for Matt Burns is
Omega versus Okada.
Kind of a shoe-in, really.
New Japan Wrestling, need to say more. The fact that they wrestled each other multiple times, it was barbaric, brutal, back and forth, and
bloody brilliant, to continue the alliteration.
The Cleaner versus the Rainmaker.
Yes.
Need I say more?
You need not. And mine came from a promotion that had two of the best tag teams in the world duking it out before they even had a tag team championship. But that didn't stop Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks from tearing the house down in about 2 or 3 separate shows. I believe the fight they were fighting over, was it the AAA championships?
Yep.
As opposed to the minted but as yet not yet claimed, because they were still doing the tournament AEW ones.
Yep. It was.
But yeah, that feud had everything that it needed to have.
Correct. I believe you are referring to the infamous tag match. Correct?
Well, in the tag match, yes.
Which you haven't mentioned.
Well, I did say Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks, but I guessed everyone would figure that was a tag match, yes.
Yeah, Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks. Absolutely amazing match. Shows you how teams can innovate a tag team match and tell interesting stories. And it's absolutely devastating.
Yes. Brilliant in every way. Right, and now we move swiftly on because time is against us.
Pretty much.
Feud of the year for UK.
I'll let you mention yours first.
I'm going to let you go first. Oh, okay.
Beat you to it.
Jinx. Okay, I'll go first because mine is simple. Mine is an underrated feud which was cut short by an injury to one of the participants, but if said participant can remain injury-free for the foreseeable future, I think they have a very, very bright one on NXT UK. Because,
definitely.
They truly are. There's the potential for this person to be, minus the weirdness, I think, up there with... I think he's got the potential to be NXT UK's Bray Wyatt.
A little bit,
in terms of sheer creativity.
And the fact that the guy's absolutely insane.
Yes, in terms of sheer creativity. I am, of course, talking about Eddie Dennis, the Swansea savant, and his feud with Dave Mastiff.
The bomber.
He didn't come out on top in it, but my God. Hello? I knew that the guy was strong, but Razor's Edge, walking Dave Mastiff halfway across the ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something else.
I believe he calls it the Dead Stop Driver.
Oh no, his finishing move is called the Next Stop Driver.
Oh no, my mistake, Next Stop Driver. It wasn't. I thought it was Dead Stop.
No.
My mistake. I thought it was that, but it's not.
Dreadful. It's the dreadful pun that kind of isn't.
Yeah.
Sort of on a par with Jordan Devlin's finisher, which is also a dreadful pun. If you say it right.
I'll let you say it.
What? Well, his name is not how you say the finisher, but the finisher is called the Devil Inside.
Yeah.
But WWE American commentators love to mispronounce that and make something of it, which they shouldn't. But anyway,
Yeah.
UK Feud of the Year, Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis, cut short by injury. Now that Eddie's back from injury, Mastiff has moved on, but I look forward to seeing what Dennis does next, because as I said, one of the most creative thinkers and genuinely scary people in NXT UK.
Yeah, because he can even start a feud from just a handshake.
Yes. Plus, I look forward with great. I don't think it'll ever happen, but it would be nice if he restarts his tag team with Mark Andrews, even if we have to give out a, potential offence warning every time we say the name of said tag team.
True. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? I'll mention mine, which is one I actually attended to myself.
A match you actually, and even more than one match that you actually went and saw in this country. So there you go.
Which is none other than the feud at the Academy Pro Wrestling, which pitted Joey Sanchez versus Jamie Future.
Yes.
This feud was, how do we say it? Absolutely
explosive, off the charts, unreal, devastating, frightening.
When you have a match, when these pair have feuded each other multiple times, right? And you're thinking, how are they going to raise the bar? When they reignite...
It's one of those...
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
When they reignite the feud, and they start their first encounter for that year, official first encounter in a match, where one of them is bloodied up to the point where their own brother is having to throw in the towel to put a stop to the match because he will not give up. And we've got members of the crowd ready to jump the barricade to get in the ring.
Yeah. That's going some.
Wait. And that's the start. That's the start.
Yeah, and that's the kick-off point from which things just escalate.
Yeah. He loses the match. And you're thinking to yourself, his brother's just seen him suffer in the ring. You've seen him suffer in the ring so much.
Yeah.
And then, and what made it worse is, when he lost that match, right, because here's the thing, if Joey Sanchez won the match, he would have gotten rid of Jamie Future. Permanently.
Yeah. Something that probably keeps him awake to this day at night.
Instead, he ended up having to become Jamie Future's trainee.
Yeah.
Where he had to do everything that Jamie Future says to him, or he's fired permanently from the company.
Which sounds, it sounds like a normal person who hasn't just gone through the absolute hell of losing a match to the guy he can't stand already. It sounds like a normal person's idea of hell before you even include that. So, yeah.
Yeah. His brother is had to throw him in the towel. Now, you think, you didn't want to see that. It got worse, though. Because then, later on, they were going into the tag team, they were considering going into the tag team tournament. And Jimmy Future said, he put his name into the hat, stating, "We'll be a great team, blah, 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 and everything. Why don't we work together? And this is where you got Future and his brother Tommy Gunn in the ring, looking at the Future as if to say, "What are you smoking?"
Yes.
Right. And gets through it all, and it says you've got until the end of the night to make your choice. Puts him through a hell of a match, right? And, a match that he didn't want, and everything. But then, after said match, Future comes out and says, you've had all this time. I've even given you extra. Have you made your decision? Sanchez outright, flat out refuses him. And says, why would I tag with you? Why?
What on earth have I got? What on earth would benefit me about this? Nothing. I'm not interested. See
Tommy
you later.
Gunn's behind him with his head nodding his head. And Future hits Joey Sanchez with a shock. Sanchez, why is it that you always have to state it's all about you? Did I say I was talking to you? Realization then quickly hits in. Sanchez turns round to be then kicked into oblivion by his own brother.
Yeah.
By his own brother. And bear in mind, Sanchez ended up having to fight Future again in a rematch, in a barbaric match.
Yep.
Where they raised the stakes even higher to the point where it was double or nothing, as in, if he lost, he is fired. If he wins, he's free. As in, from Future's control. And he ended up being successful. But the point being is, it was just absolutely brutal and barbaric.
Yes.
The mind game.
Absolutely was.
Are you making it weirder?
Go on.
It's not over.
It's still not over. Good Lord. New year, new decade.
Not over.
More chances for humiliation on both sides.
But then again, with Future and Sanchez, it will never be over.
I think I alluded to it with possibly the Gargano-Ciampa feud and things earlier. Yeah. It's like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. For as long as both of them are still active, it'll still be in the background, and it could rear up to any moment. Correct.
But anyway,
right,
that's our
we have
feud
2 categories left.
3, actually. Is it?
Out of the whatever you call it, OMG, Yahtzee.
Oh no, 4 actually. 4 actually. I forgot.
Well, the OMG moment has 3 subcategories, and then the final one after that. So technically 4, yes.
Right. Well, we'll just mention the OMG, the what the hell moment of the year straight away. We'll just go straight off the bat. Mainstream. We're going to speed it up now. I'm going to go with War Games for the men's for this year. How it ended.
Yep, that move. If you haven't seen it, we won't spoil it. But yeah.
And for yourself.
The finish of Shane McMahon versus The Miz from, I believe you told me it was WrestleMania.
Yep.
I couldn't remember.
It was
that finish as well. Oh my goodness me. All the ways that you might have envisaged that ending beforehand.
Correct.
What actually happened, probably wasn't amongst them at all. It wasn't for me, I know that much.
Shall we get into the indie?
We can. I haven't actually managed to pin one down yet, so what's yours?
Mine has to be Moxley versus Omega. How barbaric they were with each other and getting thrown into the mesh. That moment is just... Oh.
Wow. Ouch. Yeah, fair enough.
And the fact that you got Omega taking you know, Moxley's new, improved, better version of his finisher onto the boards, the bare boards. No cushion. Could be, it's bad when the fact that after the match, Omega is on the injured list for a brief, short time.
That is definitely bad.
Definitely. And what about yourself? Or are you going to agree with me?
I'm going to have to agree with you because I can't think of
anything more barbaric?
Anything off the top of my head that tops that.
Yeah. UK? Anything you want to mention, or do you want me to just go straight into mine?
I think that we agree on this one as well, so I'll let you do the honours of explaining what it is.
For me, it has to be Chantel Jordan versus the bad boy Joey Janela.
Yes.
Wow. The moment we're referring to is they are fighting in the street. Yeah. Do you know how big it is? When you have newspapers covering it, when you have social media flooded with this, when you've got Lad Bible covering it, The Sun covering it on their website and everything.
Yeah, just a bit. When for a brief second, people are forgetting that most of these organisations for 364 days a year are wrestling, who cares? And yet suddenly they're devoting pages and pages to it.
Right. They ended up brawling out into the street. They fought on a bus. Yes. Pretty much fighting through it, coming off at the end. I believe it might have been a double decker, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. They ended up doing that quickly, coming out of it, fighting in takeaways, brawling it out, brawling through bars, and then at one point, somebody comes in, parks his car up, and just as he parks up, gets out of his car, going, "What the hell's going on?" And then watches Chantel Jordan get power drived onto his car.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote this down because I wanted to have a list of what we'd awarded and everything, and my little memory aid to myself to remind me what this was simply Chantel eats car.
Pretty much.
Because that's basically what happened.
It's just thump. What the hell?
Yeah. It's just...
And that's what I mean.
Upon seeing it, I just had an image I just had mental, Jim Ross in my mind.
Good God, she's got a family.
Good God almighty, that's a teenage girl, you heartless bastard.
Pretty much, and it was just... And Chantel got up and continued.
Yes.
She continued?
Didn't just go, "No, sorry.
I've had enough.
Stick a fork in me, I'm done." She got up and carried on fighting.
No. Oh, no. Not only did she carry on fighting, she ended up climbing on top of a telephone box and launching herself off it.
The girl's got guts, I'll give her that.
I'm like... Fearless. Fearless is the word, is basically to put it under. And I can honestly say, it was... What the hell... And I if I had the original name for this award event, I'd be saying it.
It would be the Stokey Award because it would be What the Duck.
Pretty much. Or, in the short abbreviation, WTF, Moment of the Year. But anyway,
yes,
we digress. Let's get to the two big ones, shall we?
The big ones, yeah. Okay, let's do that because
of the year. We'll be covering male and female, so we'll be mentioning them both straight off the bat. Who have you gone for?
We need to do this as quickly as possible as well, so we're not going to give too many reasons why. We're just going to go straight into this.
Yep. Who are you going for?
Okay. Well, main roster, female wrestler of the year, may surprise none of you based on previous choices this evening, Bayley.
You went Bayley, I went Shayna Baszler, simply put. Rejuvenated
Totally
the
understand
entire
the reasons
NXT
why.
women's. Rejuvenated the NXT women's division. Need I say more?
You need not. Totally get why.
And as for Bailey, you've already covered it in this episode. The fact that when she turned, and the fact that she reinvented herself in such an amazing way. For the guys,
yes. For the guys,
I've gone.
Well,
for
all I can say is you've gone for
Johnny Gargano for the fact that, my God, that guy's a wrestling machine, and this is how much of a machine he is. He only has ever missed one NXT takeover.
Yes, and that was thanks to Finn Balor, not through any fault of his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all I can say about my pick for male wrestler of the year for Main, or WWE as we're calling it, is that he is limitless.
Or you could just say, "Oh,
yes,
bask in His glory." Oh,
yes.
bask. Or, as for some unknown reason, the internet has been doing this. Don't you forget about Keith Lee.
That's dreadful. But trust me, anyone who's actually watched him at all in his entire career, but especially in NXT, won't. So that's kind of appropriate, if it is awful.
And the fact that he's even getting fist pumped by none other than the big dog from SmackDown. I'm sorry, I had to do a bit of a Michael Cole there.
Yes. Well, frankly, that you only need 3 seconds of WWE or even NXT in this instance footage to know how awesome this guy is and how huge and limitless, pun intended, his potential is. And that is, I believe, the Beal that he performs on Mr. Adam Cole.
No, it wasn't the Beal.
In the entrance ring.
It wasn't the Beal.
Was it not?
It wasn't the Beal. It was more like a pounce.
Just a hip toss.
He pounced him.
Either way, whatever the move was,
he turned him into an internet viral sensation.
Adam Cole ended up basically landing in the 4th row ringside.
Pretty much. It was literally hop. It was like, I'm walking down, here I am, and wah!
Hang on. I was on the entrance ramp 2 seconds ago. Why are there 5 rows of fans between me and said entrance ramp? And why am I on my ass? What the hell happened?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe they even did a video on TikTok where it's literally he comes out where it's just literally throw your hands up and they stay there. He just sends him up, down, up, down. He just sends him flying.
Yeah.
Legit, it's like 1 minute he's there and the next minute he's. When I saw the clip, I actually thought they actually did some kind of computer graphics on Adam Cole because I was blue.
They edited it, yeah.
It was like a magic trick.
Yes.
He was there and he's gone.
Yeah, that was epic, and that is why, in a nutshell, Keith Lee is my male wrestler of the year for main roster. Right, we need to move on.
That we do. Indy, both of us have agreed on this. None other than
the man of 1,000 nicknames, and I believe by now probably at least 1,005 holds.
Pretty much. None other than Chris
Jericho. The man who, when everyone pretty much thought, his career's going to wind down now, he's going to be a special attractions guy that comes out of the woodwork twice a year for a nostalgia pop.
Nope.
Not happening. Reinvented himself. First ever AEW World Champion. And, frankly,
put meaning into it.
Still going as though he's 20 years younger than he actually is, which is really quite impressive.
Pretty much.
We both agree on that. However, our indie female wrestler of the year, we differ somewhat.
That we do.
Yours, I believe, is in action tonight, and we have covered that earlier on.
Yeah. All I'll just state is Tessa Blanchard, anyone?
I think everyone can possibly agree with you there. She's at the top of her game right now. Mine is more of an up-and-comer, but has the potential to be just as good in the future, and that's British wrestler, I believe.
Well, no, she's not actually British, is she?
I don't know. Is she pretty sure she's Australian? It would make sense if she was Australian.
I think she's Australian. I think.
Yeah, but she's been in the UK scene and has followed in. I was going to say followed in the footsteps of Jimmy Havoc, but I don't think she did because I think AEW signed her before they signed him.
No worries, no worries. It's honestly
I am, of
absolutely
course,
amazing talent. Honestly, What made it so weird is we were discussing this, and and it was like I put mine in straight away, Tessa Blanchard, for her credibility. The fact that not only has she got credibility, she's also a household name. The fact that from her family,
yes,
and then
she's living up to the family name. Yeah,
and then I'm like, let's see if you can go on par with that. And
there's me turning round. Much to your surprise, I could.
Boom, straight away. And not only that, this is somebody who you could put into the UK category if he wanted to. But he didn't. Because this person has stepped up to the independents straight away. Well, not stepped up into the independents, because the UK is part of the independents, but still.
But you know what I mean?
Damn!
I don't think I've actually said, it's Sadie Gibbs, by the way. I don't think I've actually said her name yet. But, yeah. Signed to AEW, and the sky is the limit with that girl. Seriously.
100%. 100%. Could not disagree on that.
And now we need to move swiftly on to UK Wrestler of the Year.
Yep. Would you mention yours?
Which one? Male or female?
Any.
Okay, let's go male first.
Right.
And mine, perhaps predictably, is one half of my feud of the year.
Yep.
The one that didn't get injured, and that's the one who's continued to shine every time that WWE have booked him. I'm, of course, talking about the Bomber, Dave Mastiff.
Correct. Right.
Not everyone's obvious choice, but...
Right. Oddly, my choice, he isn't actually from the UK.
I was going to say, unlike Sadie Gibbs, where we're not sure, we know this choice isn't from the UK, but
he is American,
wrestles here.
But he lives and wrestles and breathes here. He loves the UK scene. And I'm sorry, this is going to take a while.
It's Chris Masters. I'm impressed.
This is going to take a while. Please.
Oh, Jesus, no. You're going to do it, aren't you?
I'm going to have to do it. He is.
Well, that's fine. I'm going to go get a drink. I'll be back in a couple of minutes when you're done.
No worries, no worries. He is the cream in your coffee, your favourite wrestler's favourite wrestler, the Jewish canon, the physical embodiment of charisma, the most entertaining man in professional wrestling, the Bernie Sanders of professional wrestling, the best of the best, Mr. Americana, Davey Wrestling, the 104-minute man, the main event. He's really good at Twitter, the king of taunts, the product, David Starr! I've got to go with this guy because the fact that he lives, breathes UK wrestling. The fact that he was also the final Defiant Wrestling Champion. The man is non-stop across the UK scene. He is, I can also say, he is an absolute advocate for UK wrestling.
Not to mention, as you say, one of its hardest workers.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I know he's one of the hardest working because each time I've got a show date, I'll check his date. Oh, for God's sake, I can't book him.
What? Simply because you literally have to contact him now for dates in early 2021 because he's that bloody busy.
It's almost I've got to have like a crystal ball to just predict when to book my show and book him when he's free. He's that busy. He is that busy. But yeah, definitely.
But entirely justified.
And
entirely justified based on ability, work rate, and popularity, so you can't fault it.
And not only that, I've actually met the guy in person myself, and he is 100% one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And anything to
What?
do with good causes, he will go out of his way to help out. The fact that he's actually trying to revolutionise the, currently the UK wrestling scene and potentially into the independent scene as well. Need to say more?
You need not. Sorry, I was ever so slightly distracted there. But no, you need not say another word. The guy's a legend, and frankly, if UKWA ever do get to book him, look out for 2023, folks, at this current rate. Then he'll undoubtedly steal the show whenever he does appear on it.
Damn right. Damn right.
Awesome, right, we're nearly done, but there's just one more.
And
we
this
need
is
to
the biggie.
do male and female UK Wrestler of the Year.
This is the biggie.
Oh, we're on that. Hold on, you've just done male.
No.
We need to do female UK
biggie.
Wrestler of the Year. We've done male.
Still a biggie.
It's a biggie.
Go on, for you.
For me, I've gone slightly left field here, I think. Somewhere that maybe you won't think that I'd go. Because I haven't picked someone who is a known star.
Oh, no,
Is. Sorry?
She is a known star.
Oh, well, she is a known star now, but I mean, was a virtual unknown outside of her home promotion before making her first appearance on NXT
home
UK.
promotions. She was in the UK known, but not on the independent scene or anything. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Continue,
Absolute
please.
legend. Hasn't won that many matches in NXT UK, but I think that this is the year that that's about to change.
Yep.
Because, well, anyone that can just have that pink hair and not care, and yes, I did rhyme that on purpose, literally deserves a mention. I'm, of course, talking about Candy Floss.
Great talent. Great talent.
Epic talent.
I'll never ever forget seeing her against Cat Von Cage at the SWA Super Show.
Okay. A match that you've told me about numerous times, but I've not had a chance to check out yet.
Definitely check it out. An absolutely brilliant match. Honestly, great workers, and honestly, highly recommend it.
Ooh, potential future tag team for them called Candy Cage. No, just putting that out there.
I see what you did there. And for me, this is going to sound like a bit of favoritism right now.
Oh, you haven't picked. No, I was going to make a joke there, but it fell dead because, I was going to say you haven't picked the representative of UKWA, but UKWA doesn't have a women's champion, so yeah, I can't make that joke.
But then again,
no, I know who you picked. It's one of two. You were going to pick one or the other. I know which way you've gone.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
honourable
go with
mention to the other.
Yeah, which is Millie McKenzie. The honourable mention is Millie McKenzie. Honestly, and the reason why I make it an honourable mention, I was stuck between these two is because with Millie, yes, this is how good she is. The fact that you've got WWE knocking on her door, ready to say, come work for us.
Ready to say, how much do you want?
And she literally says, I'm not ready yet.
Her honest response was, give me a couple of years to get a bit more world experience.
Pretty much. And she's been doing that by going to Japan and everything and knocking it out the park, with Charlie Evans as the Messiah complex. No, not yes. Messiah, Medusa complex. And absolutely killing it on the scene. But then killing it over here, especially against the person who I'm picking as well, which is, I believe is...
Just in case you haven't worked it out yet.
None other than Chantal Jordan. A lot of people are going to say, but you've had her on your roster. Yes, I have. But let's just say this. This is how busy Chantal Jordan is. I've actually been trying to reacquire her for future shows. And she's that damn busy. I've had to literally get screenshots of her future bookings just to see where there's a damn well opening.
We're talking on a par with David Starr levels of busy here.
The fact that she's flying over to multiple countries.
So.
She's flying over to multiple countries. She's winning championship belts in other countries in her debut match for the companies as well, and also fighting Evilise in a absolute barn burn of a match to the point where Evilise is going, I want this person again.
Yeah, let me fight her again.
I want to fight her again. I want to fight Chantal Jordan. And the fact that myself, I've got a damn well list of people who have asked for matches against her, who wants to have matches against her.
Oh, dude, seriously, if you booked her now, you could run a weekend of Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee and Sunday evening shows called the Chantal Jordan Show, which featured nothing but her having matches with about the 50 other people who want to have a match with her.
And we still have the list still going on.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even get to the end.
Pretty much.
Legitimately. Because if there is a female wrestler in the UK scene, and even there's quite a few guys as well, that doesn't want to wrestle Chantal Jordan, whatever show they're on, they get taken out the back and have their pulse tested.
Pretty much.
Because they're not alive if they don't want a part of it.
But the thing is, she's absolutely a phenomenal worker at such a young age, and I can also say, I cannot wait to see what... This is how good she is. The fact that she's already got in top talent already asking for it at such a young age, early on in her wrestling career. I actually can't wait until she actually hits the, when she reaches the top of the glass ceiling that she's got for herself. Honestly, I feel as though she's almost needing to be nicking Keith Lee's nickname.
What?
The fact that she's limitless. Pretty much.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's all.
Well, that's epic, yeah.
For that, and we've got the last category.
We've got one category left to do, and then we really need to wrap up because we have taken up enough of your evening.
Correct.
But we have one category, and this, I would just like to point out, is the show one, and we're not talking about the WWE affiliated one in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah. So this is the Burning Truth Hall of Fame.
This is
is
the Hall of Fame of across the board that we feel deserves to be in it.
Deserves to be recognised for their contribution to the industry
of wrestling.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say I've already got my pick outright right now.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of people are going to be saying...
I think I have mine as well.
A lot of people are going to be saying, it's mainstream, isn't it? It's mainstream. No, it's not. It's not even... This gentleman was almost involved in TNA, also Impact Wrestling. And it is somebody we unfortunately lost last year.
Yes.
It would
Which is tragic, but, I think we've just about recovered from the initial shock. Now we're still not over it, but we've just about recovered from the initial shock.
Yeah, it is none other than Lionheart.
Wow. Yeah.
For me. Definitely, that's my pick to be in the Hall of Fame for the Burning Truth.
Fair enough. But if we're going down the route of fantastic wrestlers who we lost too soon, then in light of the news from just yesterday, then I think I would have to choose Mexican legend La Parka.
100% have to agree with you.
Purely for he wasn't okay. He's not incredibly well known outside Mexico, apart from a brief run, I believe, in WCW. But
yeah, and unfortunately, let me just point this out: this isn't the original incarnation. This was the second one.
This was who was originally known as La Parka 2. Yes.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. this was the second version of him, who ended up taking the mantle from the original. And
Yes.
legitimately, I can also say it is unfortunate that we ended up losing him. And what makes it worse is it was possibly due to injuries that had actually occurred from a match. That actually
due to an error of his own making in a match, so it wasn't anyone else's fault.
It was due to it was nobody's fault. It wasn't even his own. It was a freak accident that it may that occurred. I believe it was back in November, where he had the injury, and it's just basically taken a toll, and it's come back.
From which he has sadly not recovered.
Correct. So for right now, we are going to do a 1 minute silence for the Parker. And ladies and gentlemen, there is your 1 minute silence for La Parker,
who tragically died yesterday as a result of injuries sustained in a wrestling match late last year.
Correct. And that is going to be a wrap up for this week. And all I'm just going to say is I'm going to be doing some of the plugs quickly. However, before I get onto the major plugs, I just want to point out a extra charity case right now.
Go for it.
A friend of mine, and I'm just literally getting this up now for us quickly. It's to do with it's all for a great cause that they're doing. It would be for Alexandra. I was getting up now. Alexandra Wareham. And
right,
she is doing a skydive to raise as much money as possible for Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is a cruel and tragic disease that, frankly, needs more research done into it, because any hint of, anything that can lessen the effects, much less a cure, but that would also be great, is needed.
It is something that has affected her directly, personally, as well, with a family member of hers. And I just thought to just point it out. If anybody is interested in finding out, if just wants to read up on the story or as such, just pretty much go on to www.justgiving.com/fundraising/Alexandra-Wareham, and you will see her story currently at how far they've gone. At the moment, they have currently raised £503 on that website alone, and they have got a target of 600. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the actual charity page was actually started on Friday.
And they've got that far already. All we can say is, with a bit of help from us, get them over that line.
Correct. And the charity that she's raising it for is the Alzheimer's Society. And, the charity registration number 296645.
And if you would like to give, please give whatever you can. Even if it's just £1. Every little helps.
Correct. And legitimately, the event that she will be doing the skydive, Skydive Day, May 2020, 16th of May, 2020 to the 17th of May 2020.
Oh,
Which
come on. She's doing a skydive, for God's sake. If that's not worth a tenner of your money, I don't know what is.
I
She's
wouldn't
jumping
do.
out of a plane, people.
Let's just say this: I know plenty of people who've donated, myself included, and hopefully, I will state, hopefully we're able to get, even if we hit that. I hope that we're able to hit the target and go beyond further. Pretty much go
Yeah,
beyond
or
that.
much further, yeah.
Plus ultra, pretty much.
Fingers crossed that'll be the case. But let's see. We know how generous you lovely people are, so let's keep that up and
Correct. And
show us all how generous you are. But yeah, go on, you would state.
More charities to possibly donate, to possibly look into, or organisations to look into for that have charitable causes would be none other than Mind, of course, Changes UK for Health and Wellbeing, Messi for Mind, Donna Louise, and of course Cancer Research UK.
All absolutely viable and brilliant charities that if you've got, if you find a spare pound down the back of the sofa or whatever, throw it their way because they do nothing but good things with it.
All too true, all too true.
And
anyway,
help generally improve humanity's lot, so,
Correct. Anyway, I'm going to get down to the plugs now. And all I'm just going to state is, please check out UK Wrestling Alliance, also known as UKWA. For all your photography needs, we recommend you check out the following social medias, which will be none other than Tony Knox. The man's a legend. 100%.
The man is an absolute legend.
100%. Please check out also Jessica Servo Photography, K Swift Photography. And if I'm not mistaken, the K Swift Photography has also currently got a special deal on anybody who's first come first served sort of deal. But only so many there's only so many places for it. Do recommend you check it out, and it's actually on her social media on Facebook at the moment in time. If you are wanting to learn how to wrestle, please check out Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy. Beginners classes are on Monday, £10 per class, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. For all other classes, we recommend you check out their social media, and for the location details, please check out their social media, of course. We also recommend you check out JFX3D 100% for custom made championship belts. If you are looking to have a custom made championship, we also recommend you check out the lighter side of wrestling, none other than Botchamania WrestleCrap OSW review. You're welcome, Matthew.
Cheers, nice one, RD.
And of course, always grateful for what OSW pretty much throw out to us. You're welcome all around, guys. We, of course, recommend you check out Pull or Pass Radio Show with your host on there. That is none other than Magic Mark Adams, where he talks all things geeky, nerdy, and potential Marvel to DC topics. We, of course, also recommend you check out We the Independent. Who's one of the major guys on We the Independent?
I'll give you a clue. His first name is possibly the same as Mr. Mastiff, and his surname is a thing that there's loads of in the sky.
Pretty much. None other than David Starr, and of course, one person who I absolutely love endorsing, especially who's also a part of it, and I've actually had him booked on UKWA, none other than Sugar Dunkerton.
Sugar Dunkerton, what a legend.
Especially with his, indie till infinity. But they have some amazing interviews on there, of course. I also recommend you check out Train Pop Culture podcast, where they talk, everything from wrestling to Marvel to even just some alcoholic beverages and every general topic and everything. We, of course, also recommend you check out Think Wrestling, which is hosted by none other than who?
Well, none other than, don't call him the Fourth Doctor, UKWA co-commentator of mine, Mr. Tom Baker.
Correct. I, of course, also recommend you all to check out, I believe, Fabaloony, where it's party time all the time. And we, of course, also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music UK. As much as I could state, we always repeat it, they do custom-made music. I've had some made for myself. The Burning Truth has had it done by them. Highly recommend.
If you want an example, look no further than the beginning and end of this very show.
Correct. And we, of course...
I would also say, as always, check out the Distraction Pieces podcast with Scroobius Pip, who has a variety of guests from the world of film, TV, showbiz, and pro wrestling, by the way. Favourite topic of his, and he covers it quite often. Recently had Matt Richards on there, who I believe is now the host of the Tuesday Night Jaw podcast, which is quite an influential wrestling show, amongst many others. He's had Grado on there in the past as well. And he's just recently completed his end-of-year drunk cast, which is exactly what it seems. It's him and a load of his friends recording a podcast whilst getting hammered.
Pretty much. And of course...
Check that out.
Of course, we also recommend you check out Turnbuckle TV. And why else do we recommend that? How many companies is there?
Are we talking, is it now officially more than 30?
More than 30.
Officially more than 30 companies, all of whom are putting new shows on all the time, so you'll never run out of British wrestling to watch, and
Correct.
It's yours for the frankly unbeatable sum of $3.99 a month.
Yeah, $3.99, and that also includes UKWay, of course. And if anybody does want to sign up to it, we highly recommend you do sign up through either links, or, through... if you're wanting to do it for the UKWay, I recommend you go to www.turnbuckletv.com/UKWay, or if you go on to the actual website itself, literally click on the organisation you want to boost and support.
If you have a favourite organisation, click on turnbuckletv.com/the name of that organisation. For example, UKWA, but you can use any of the other 30 plus companies on the server, and a little portion of every $3.99 that gets sent that way goes to the company that you nominate, so you can help your favourite promotion thrive just by watching all their shows back.
Of course, and of course we also recommend you to check, if you don't want to do it through the link, you could do it on the actual website itself by clicking on turnbuckletv.com, literally then clicking on the organisation you wanted to check out, and then clicking on the join page that is on the actual wrestling company as well. We highly recommend you check it out. Of course, we also recommend you check out all local wrestling shows. Just case in point: United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling for You, Slam Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Future Championship Wrestling, Fusion Pro Wrestling, the Barracks Wrestling. Any more?
Let's see. Future Shock Wrestling, Falling Star Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, ICW, PBW, Wolf Run Pro Wrestling, Iron Fist Pro Wrestling. There are many. And just in case you want a way to... You can't remember this alphabet soup of promotions that we're firing at you, and you want a way to find the one nearest to you...
Before we get onto that subject, actually, I will just state this. I was actually at Wolf Run Pro Wrestling last night. Absolutely amazing show. Highly recommend it. So if you are in the area of Wolverhampton and you can see that there's a wrestling show there, highly recommend you check it out. But then again, I always recommend you check out your local wrestling. And there's a way to do that if you want to see if there's any local wrestling.
I was going to say, yeah.
Correct.
If you wanted to look it up and you can't remember what the names of all the ones we've said, and you don't know if there might be one in your area, there is a way to do that, and it is even better value than Turnbuckle TV.
Correct. And the best thing about it is you can do it all from the power of your phone. It's a mobile app.
Absolutely.
It is none other than Babyface Wrestling UK. And it's all for the low price of absolutely nothing. It's free. Get on it.
It's free. Like I said, it's a price you cannot beat. Get on it. You've got no excuse not to get on there. Find out what your local promotion is from, I don't know, Aberdeen to Plymouth, wherever part of the country you live in, there'll be one. Find it, support it, and you can even follow your favourite wrestlers. I believe there is even a page on there for I don't know if I've read this right, Bat Mearns? No idea who that is.
Funny. Yes, I would be massively eternally grateful if you did actually follow myself on there, Matt Burns, and I'd be massively even more grateful if you actually followed the company UKWay on there, UK Wrestling Alliance on there, even more so. Genuinely,
Epic.
And the last thing I want to plug right now, which will be none other than the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. I recommend you check it. You know what's on there. We also recommend you check out all of our social media, which would be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We've been through it many times a week, and let me just state out all external links that are on the website. We do not have any control over, just to point that out as well.
No. Anything that is not the UKWA website but is linked from it, we have no control over external content, as Mr. Burns has just stated. So you can view it, feel free, but you do so at entirely your own risk.
Correct, and that's going to be a wrap up for this week. I will say a lot to talk about on this week's episode because we had a lot to cover. But then again, it's always interesting, and we do love talking to. We love the fact that you're listening to us, but we don't want you to just be listening. We want to have you, make a conversation with us. So, send us messages, be it either through social media, be it either, on, be it either on Spreaker,
any of the social media, Spreaker, however,
email, website.
If there's anything, this being the awards episode, if there's anything you think we've forgotten, a wrestler, feud, any other awards we've covered that you think we've forgotten that deserves an honourable mention, let us know, and Mr. Matt Burns will harvest them all and let us know on next week's show. In between the stuff we've got to do to review about Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill, TakeOver UK Blackpool 2, and anything else that we think of between now and then.
Pretty much. And as a quick last reminder, don't forget tomorrow UKWA will be announcing the first match for Finest Hour as well. And with all that, it's a wrap up. Of course, I also recommend you all to check out your local wrestling. But for the last message, I always recommend you all to stay well and stay safe. And when I say that, I don't just mean just physically.
We don't just mean physically, no. Mentally is just as important.
Of course it is, 100%.
And as we always say on this show, it's okay to not be okay, and it's not a weakness to cry for help if you feel you need it.
Cry, ask, doesn't matter. The point being is you can end up finding out that you are far more loved than you even realise. We hope you have a fantastic, evening, night, wherever you are right now listening to this broadcast, be it either morning, day, whatever it is. We hope you have a fantastic day, month, year, whatever.
I hope you have a fantastic year ongoing into 2020, yep. And we will see you next week.
We'll hopefully see you, fingers crossed, permitted. If not, we'll hopefully get you a pre-recorded episode done. But let's just state this to you, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for this week. Stay well, stay safe, and catch you later.
Ta-ta for now, goodbye, until whenever we're on next.
Catch you later.